Hi everybody, this is Joel Kennedy with Kennedy Violins. Today is the 6th video of an 8-part video series about effective practicing techniques. Today I'm going to try to convince you to breathe. So breathing is obviously something that we do all the time. We don't really think about it. It's something that is very natural to us. However, when playing a stringed instrument, it's really important to think about how and when we breathe. If you are really aware of how and when you're breathing while you're playing, you will be given the gift of control. Now, there are two primary ways in which breathing can give us control. Number one, it'll give us control over our bow. So more specifically, it'll give us control over the initial strike. You know, when we initially attack the string with our bow, if we are breathing properly, we'll have a lot more control of how our bow is actually striking that string. The second primary way in which breathing gives us a lot of control is to be able to control the tension of our body. Our bodies naturally want to go into fight or flight reflex a lot of times when we're in stressful situations, and being able to breathe properly will help out with that a lot. So I'll give you a little bit of demonstration. Now, in order to do this, I'll need a violin. Oh, okay, it's just gonna appear right here. Bing! Okay, we got the violin here. Okay, so the first way in which you can control your playing with breathing is how you attack your string. Now, the big question is well, when do I breathe? And after I take a breath, what do I do with that? Well, the easy answer is generally it's going to be on the upbeat. So for example, let's say you have an excerpt, Mozart, for example. Dun, 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 right? So here's the upbeat, here's the downbeat. Upbeat, downbeat. So, dun, 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 okay? So no matter what the tempo is, we're going to breathe on the upbeat. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay? So, and then when you breathe, you release that breath as soon as you start playing. So I'll exaggerate my breathing so hopefully the microphone will pick it up. Right? Or quiet and slower. Right? So no matter what speed or dynamic level, you can use this technique. And this technique works mostly for when you're playing in an ensemble. So it helps you play together with the ensemble that you're playing with. Now, it could be you and one other person, like a pianist, or it could be a duet, or it could be a trio, quartet, orchestra. The point is that if everybody is breathing together, they're playing together. Okay, so the second reason why you want to utilize breathing for attacking your string is when you want to play really, really quietly. Now, this technique is not as easily employed for, ensemble playing, but it works really, really well for when perhaps you are playing with your accompanist or something like that, but you guys don't necessarily have to play exactly together. But it's kind of a more advanced technique that'll enable you to control your bow when playing very, very softly, okay? So for example, let's say you got to play the first note of the Thais. It's triple piano, you got to come in really quiet. Now, if you just use the first technique, you might have a little bit of trouble controlling your bow. Your sound might go out, maybe your bow will bounce. Okay? So because when you play double piano, you have to have a very light touch on your bow, and you have to exercise a lot of control. And especially if you're in a stressful situation, it could make controlling your bow very difficult. So this technique, what you would actually do is take a breath very slowly before you play, but then start the bow stroke as you breathe out. Okay? So you're going to be breathing out as you apply the bow to the string. Okay, I'll show you again. Okay. okay? So that technique is mostly used, like I said, with really, really quiet music, and you're not using that technique to play together with somebody else. You're mostly using to relax your body and to have more control over your bow, but it is a lot harder to do. Okay, so the last big benefit that I want to mention about breathing while you're playing is being able to control tension. Now, tension when we're playing is your big enemy with the stringed instrument. So you really want to control tension. Now, when we're playing in stressful situations, right, could be any kind of performance, recital, audition, competition, our bodies are in an elevated stress environment, and our bodies go into fight or flight reflex, which means that, we hold our breath and we tighten our muscles. So this last technique I want to mention is basically to help you avoid holding your breath. Holding your breath sends a signal to your body to tensen your muscles up. As soon as you tense your muscles up, then you lose control, okay? So when you're really, a little bit nervous or in a tense situation, you have to be very aware of your breathing. And you just take these, try to keep your breathing as normal as possible. And then, you walk out on stage and you're about ready to play. You're aware of what your body starts to do. It starts to tighten up. Now, where does it start to tighten up? Well, generally speaking, your body is going to start to tighten up in your neck. And as soon as it starts, or your jaw. The jaw is a big one. You will start perhaps biting your teeth, clenching your jaw, or it'll be in your neck. But usually when it starts up here, then it works its way down into your shoulders, and then down to your arms, and then eventually to your fingers. Now, it also goes the other way. When we hold our breath and we get tense, then the tension will start in your toes generally, right? Your toes or the heel, of your feet. And as soon as you start clenching your toes or clenching your feet, then that tension goes up your legs, and eventually, it makes it up to your back and your arms and everything else. So the way to avoid that onset of tension, which means a lack of control, be aware of your breathing. Just keep the same breathing that you had before when you're just relaxing, having a cup of coffee or whatever with your friends, and then fight every urge to tense up and hold your breath when you go out and play. And then when you start playing, your body is going to want to do it again. When you start initially playing, your body is going to want you to hold your breath, and it's going to want you to get to clench your muscles. It takes practice, and the thing is you can only practice this in a real world environment. But I promise you, you'll get better and better at it if you're aware of your breathing. So the first step is to be aware of your breathing. If you're aware of it, then, that's half the battle right there, and you'll get much better as time goes on at controlling your breathing, controlling tension, and having ultimately more control over your playing. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions or comments, please put them in the video below. And if you like these videos at all, please hit the like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that little alert bell so you get a notification. And let me know, this is I've only got 2 videos left of this particular 8-part series. So if you guys want to see some other videos about some other stuff, let me know. Put it in the comment section. I respond to most of the comments, and give me something to do. So, and don't forget, here at Kennedy Violins, we're all players and teachers, so we're always happy to answer any of your questions anytime. Thanks, guys.